What's up, guys, and welcome to episode 19 of For Life Trading Cards podcast / video series. It has been a minute. I'm sorry, guys. I've been pretty busy, but I'm so glad to get this episode out, and I'm super excited. A lot of stuff has been happening in the hobby in the last couple weeks. As you guys know, NBA season has started, and the guy that I've been stocking up on has been playing extremely well. So that's Luka Doncic. If you guys haven't been following me for a while, or if you have, you probably know that I've been talking about Luka probably in a lot of my podcast series, especially the early ones. Early on, I was buying him like crazy over the summer. There's basically two different sides to the opinion of, when I was talking to people before I eventually just went all in on him over the summer. When you look at him as a potential, it was amazing. Like, he was a rookie of the year, coming in out of shape, all that sort of stuff. Outplaying some of the best players in the league last year. So I was sold on him from that perspective. But his card prices at that time in June were, roughly $70 to $80. And some people thought that was, high. Some people thought, there were so many PSA 10s out there, which there are a lot of PSA 10s. I think there's over 5,000 at this point. That would affect his prices because there's so much volume of his cards that they didn't know if the demand would be there. And in my opinion, I was like, well, if he's going to be the player that I expect him to be, the volume will be there. And the only reason people are sending these cards in to get them graded is because they know they will sell. So I wasn't too scared about the volume whatsoever. So I kind of went all in on that. And it paid off because his card prices are at $130 right now. I saw a couple last night sell for $150. And I think they have a nice string of extremely winnable games coming up. So I think his prices are just going to keep going up from here. I will not be surprised. I think they're going to hit 200. I would not be. This is kind of a hot take, but I would not be surprised, guys. In that April-May period, when they're in the playoff hunt, right? I think they're going to be around a 4 or 5 seed. His card can get to $600. I think we should look back on history and see what other cards have spiked up like this before. Now, the most recent one was Giannis Antetokounmpo. His card over the summer last year was selling for around $150, right? And then his PSA 10s in April were selling for $650. So Luka's right now, over the summer, they were selling for anywhere from $60 to $80. And again, I can expect it just like how Giannis did hit I think it'll hit 600. I don't know if they'll get all the way up to 650, but I think it's very, very, very possible, guys. So if some of you guys are asking, well, is it worth going in at $130 and picking up one of these cards? Well, I'll tell you this, guys. There's always a risk, right? There's always a risk. Let's say Luka gets hurt, just like Trae Young recently, but he'll be back tonight. And I don't know, he gets hurt, something happens. His price will go down. But if you look at it in the long run, yes, Luka, his prices will always go up. And if he keeps playing the way he's playing, of course, it would be a good bet to go in right now. I do not see his prices coming down from here. It's crazy, guys. If you listen, you could have bought it for $60 to $80 over the summer, made some good money. But again, he could get hurt, have a catastrophic injury. He can't play basketball anymore, and then who turns out fucked me. So there's always a little bit of risk in it, just like the stock market, just like real estate, anything like that. The next thing I wanted to talk about, I want to stay on the Luka topic, but I wanted to talk about these Luka Doncic Donruss Optic Hollow rookie cards. I did get on these late. I saw the potential in around August, but it was one of those things where I just didn't jump on it. So I wanted to talk about, first I'll talk about the Optic stuff. So Optic is a brand, right? They sell cards, all that sort of stuff. But the hollows are comparable to the Prism Silvers, right? So if you have a Prism Silver Luka, you probably know right now they're selling a little under $1,000. Crazy. Now the weird thing was the Prism Silvers were selling way higher in price than these Optic Hollows. But the optic hollows are extremely rare. These cards are way more. They're not overproduced, so they're rare compared to those Prism Silvers, which are overproduced. But again, I'm not too scared about the volume of those. So just to give you an example, this card, this optic hollow Donruss optic hollow Luka Doncic card, in September was selling for about $30, right? In the last week or so, they're selling this same card for around $250. Yeah, this card. So if you bought in September, you bought, let's say, 3 of them, you're gonna get $90. And now 3 of them, you can get, 700 and whatever dollars for it. It's a crazy flip. So if you did that, congratulations, great job. I got this just under $200. I got on it late. Again, I sold my Luka Doncic Silver a couple weeks ago, so I was looking to get something in the Luka world, just because I think, again, he's going to be a Hall of Fame type player. And I kind of stumbled on this card. And the reason I wanted to get a silver, but then again, it caught to my attention that how much more rare these are. And so yeah, I went on it at $200. The PSA 10s guys are selling for like $1,000 as well. So I think these cards are going to surpass the silvers. That's why I kind of bought into it. Because again, these are more rare than silvers, guys. These optic hollows are more rare than silvers. They're actually tougher to grade as well. Like it's a very interesting card. And I think with just the volume of silvers that are out there with the prisms, I don't think those prices will go down, but I do think just with the more rarity of these optic hollows, it's going to surpass it. It might take a little bit of while, but I think you're going to see a big jump coming up. So it's going to be interesting to see. So I do recommend this card. If you're looking, if you're looking at the silvers, there's a lot of PSA 10s out there. So if you do happen to find one, then good job. But I do recommend these raw ones. Again, they are tougher to grade though. So, you could grade them, but if you can just keep them like this, I probably will be grading this one. It is in really good shape and everything like that. His corners are good, so I will be grading this card. I think it has a decent shot for a 10. So yeah, I'm excited about this. I'll probably send this off tomorrow to get graded. The next thing I wanted to talk about was there's a lot today just because everything's been happening. So as you guys know, those Bowman Chrome X stuff that came out by StockX that came out. If you guys haven't heard about that or have, I'll kind of give you my opinion on it. I think the concept was great, right? Tops can get top dollar for the product that they're putting out. Because basically, if you guys haven't heard of StockX, it's a place where you can bid on items, or it's mostly for sneakers, but they have moved into the card game. So basically what Topps did is they made a deal with StockX. They're going to put a specific amount of product of these Bowman Chrome X stuff out, and people are going to bid on them, and whoever gets the highest bids, those are the ones that get the product. I don't know. I don't remember how many of them they put out. I think it was like 500 or something. So basically whoever got like 500, the top bids for the 500 got the boxes. A lot of people have been talking about the product itself. I do not think the product was great. I think the idea was great, but I don't think the product was great. And I think that's something they definitely have to work on. I know it's the first time. I love the idea. I'm not gonna lie. I love the idea because it's smart. It makes Topps money. It makes StockX money. And from a consumer standpoint, with all these sneaker heads and stuff moving into the hobby, I think it makes sense. But I think for people who have been in the hobby for a while, it definitely the product had to be better. And I think it'll get there. They definitely will make better product, but it was kind of like a test trial, I guess, if you will. It was interesting to see. So that's kind of my opinion on it. Idea great, but I think the product does have to be a little bit better. And if they do make the product better, more people are going to spend money on it. So I think it's eventually will happen. So definitely something exciting to see though in the hobby. Next thing I wanted to talk about was Trae Young, guys. We saw his prices shoot up after his fantastic couple of opening games. He did sprain his ankle though, so he was out. I think his PSA 10s were like selling, they got up to like $80, which is really, really cool to see. He is definitely a great player, so that was cool to see. I was talking about Trae Young a while ago. I just over the summer, basically, his prices were like half the prices of Luka's cards, which I do think in the long run, yes, Luka Doncic is going to be a better player, of course, but I think the separation of that, I don't think Trae Young, I mean, his prices over the summer was looking like Luka Doncic was twice the player of Luka, which is not true, and we just saw that in the first couple games. So I did go in on Trae Young over the summer as well, so that's making me a good amount of money. Yeah, I'm probably not going to be selling those right now just because his prices are low, just because he got a sprained ankle. But I do think he comes back tonight, so it's going to be interesting to see. I would say if you're looking to invest, Trae Young is a guy that's still a little bit undervalued, not as much as he was over the summer, but it would be interesting to look at right now. Luka's, right, is selling for around 130, his PSA 10s. Trae's, they dipped down because he got hurt. I think they're selling for around like 60, 70. So I do think Trae's, if he keeps up the way he's playing, will surpass that $100 mark coming up. Again, we have to see how he comes back from the injury. I think it was just a little sprained ankle, so he should be fine. But yeah, I'm pretty high on Trae Young as well. Again, guys, though, one thing to watch out there, one thing I always talk about is the best time to buy these guys up, people that you think are going to be good players, is over the summer, just because that's when their prices are lower. During the year, so many more people get into the hobby and are buying cards off of just like one game if they have a super good game, and their prices spike and all that sort of stuff. So it is a little bit more of a gamble. Just wanted to point that out to you guys. And then I have been investing a lot of my time in researching about soccer cards and buying a lot of soccer cards. Now, when I did go to Trade Fest, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, I did pick up some sweet soccer cards. I picked up this Kylian Mbappe Immaculate 64 out of 65. Just a beautiful card. Don't see a lot of these come up at shows or anything like that, so I knew when I saw it, I had to get it. I did get it for, I think, $30, guys. Or no, I think it was $35. I got it for $35, guys. And then the last one on eBay, I think sold for $65. So I got this for a pretty good deal. I will be holding this. I think this is going to be a huge card for me in the future. Guys, soccer cards, there's not a lot out there. And basically my theory is that soccer cards are going to, so since the hobby's growing so much, I think soccer cards that next thing, because you can go buy, star players for dirt cheap. So, and if you compare that, if you compare that to basketball, it's crazy. Like this Kylian Mbappe card would be considered, I don't know. This is basically he's one of the probably top 5 players in soccer right now. So to get an Immaculate 64 out of 65 for $35 is crazy. I did pick up this Christian Pulisic signed auto select. I got this in a trade, so I brought some Trae Young cards with me, and I think I bought those cards for like $6 a card over the summer. So I got it for like $18, I guess, if you can consider it. These sell for a lot more than that, so pretty excited about this one too. So yeah, guys, basically I've been investing a lot of time in soccer just because I see the potential, guys. You can go buy the best players in soccer for relatively dirt cheap if you look at it in terms of like basketball. I think the card game is going to move to soccer just because the Premier League right now is being shown on ESPN now. I'm seeing a lot more people in America getting into soccer. Everywhere in the world, guys, soccer is the biggest sport. I hate to break it to you guys, but that's what it is, except for the United States. So I think once the United States gets a grasp of, soccer and watching it and loving those top guys, I think it's just going to be a matter of time to when the hobby moves into soccer as well. So if you're smart, people like me, or hopefully I'm smart, I don't know, I might be a dumbass, are going to be buying up lots. I bought up probably like 80 Topps Chrome Jin Sancho rookie cards, just because I think they're going to go up. That's my opinion. I do have a bunch of these Kylian Mbappe cards. I think I got a lot of 12 in last night. I got a silver. I have a bunch in grading. So I think soccer cards are huge. So if you're looking at investing in soccer cards, I do recommend Kylian Mbappe. I think he's going to be great. And he's basically the guy that's supposed to overtake, Messi and Ronaldo. I think he's the youngest person to score a goal in the World Cup. It's crazy. So, just in my opinion, if you can get his cards for dirt cheap compared to getting a talent like that in basketball. So yeah, that's going to be it for today, guys. I appreciate you guys listening. You guys probably know me from my Instagram page, @ForLife Trading Cards. I do have a TikTok, which is slowly growing and growing and growing. Almost hitting 2,000 followers on there, so I appreciate you guys. So my TikTok is @ForLife Trading Cards, if you want to go follow me on there. And then I do have this YouTube channel. If you're watching from here, thank you. I appreciate it. Please like and subscribe. And then if you're listening on Spotify, I appreciate it. Please follow me, share the podcast, share the channel, share everything. I appreciate it, guys. I'll see you next time.